In this video, I want to talk about translations. If you have one user manual, a small one with a few components, and just one target language, you probably don't need a content management system and you probably don't need the translation management. But as soon as you get more and more manuals that you need to manage and more target languages that you need to manage, then it becomes a multiplication of the effort very quickly and very easily. And it becomes extremely cumbersome and makes a lot of effort to keep all the target languages in sync with your source content. Maybe you just update content here and there in this manual and in this manual, and you easily lose the overview which content in which target language is on the same level and if it's still the right content. And then you need translation management. And in Adobe Experience Manager guides, we have built in this translation management right to the authoring interface. So let's have a look how that looks like. I'm in the repository view here, and I have a folder English. And in English, I have my user guide with my topics and some resources. Here's my data map, and here's my topic reusable content modules, where I have all this content that I have as modules that I want to reuse in other content. So I'm starting to translate this content here as in the first place. And I also want to get my data map translated and do this all with machine translation. And later on, I will see which content is present in the target language and which is missing, which is out of sync. So we go to, first we open the data map. Let me close that one here. And then I go into the Manage tab. And here in Translations, you see the target languages. They are automatically populated because on the author in the repository view, I have folders like DE for German, ES for Spanish, and FR for French. And then AM automatically includes these target languages here. So I select German, click Apply, and then I get a list of all the content that is in my repository. Let me hide the versions here to make it a little bit more easy to look at. Currently, I see all files are marked as missing copy. That means they do not exist yet in the target language, which is German DE. So I want to select my map here. This is the file I want to get translated, the map file. And of course, I want to get my reusable content modules translated. The rest I currently don't care about. So I send this for translation. And I create a new translation project with my name, Machine Translation. I could also create a new multilingual translation project if I have multiple languages. Or I could later on add files to this existing translation project, or even create a new scoping translation project, which only has the purpose to get an idea of the volume, like a cost calculation with my translation vendor. So I create a new translation project here because I don't have one yet, and I call it Machine Translation and click Submit. And now my translation project is created. That easy. Now I close that and go into this translation project, and let's have a look how it is there. I go into Projects, and here I have Machine Translation DE, which is marked as active. I go in there, and I see it's currently status draft. Language is German, provider is Microsoft Machine Translation, method is then obviously Machine Translation, target language is German, I'm translating 2 assets, and that all looks fine, and I say Start. So now the translation is starting in the background. And once the machine translation is ready, I will get notified about that. And I see, oh, it's already done. Okay, good. So status is already approved here. So then I can go back into Adobe Experience Manager Guides. And let's have a look. And I see the DE folder is now populated with a copy of my content here, with my user guide and my resources. The two files that I had selected, the reusable content modules, has become wiederverwendbare Inhaltsmodule, and my user guide, my map, has become my Benutzerhandbuch. So now I can open that, and it has become wiederverwendbare Inhaltsmodule. And let me open the English one as well. And as I want to have that next to each other, let's split that view here. And I have that side by side view between my source content and my translated content. And I can go through that and check if everything is as expected. And it already looks pretty good even with machine translation. Legal notices has become rechtliche Hinweise. So all of that looks pretty good. So that basically is a question of a couple of seconds to get my content translated through machine translation right from within my CMS without any additional export, import of files and stuff like that. So it's very easy to do that. Of course, I can also use other machine translation providers. There are more than 17, I think, connectors to all kinds of machine translation systems. Pretty much all the big ones are there, like Across and SDL World Server and MemSource and XCM and MemoQ and so on. They all have connectors for Adobe Experience Manager. And you can use these language servers from these vendors also to hand over content automatically into their translation tool. And from there it goes to the translator, can be automatically translated with machine translation also there, or fully human translation, and then it gets back and is automatically populated into my system here. But let's have a look at something else here, which make this translation management really powerful. I select German here again. Let's hide the versions again. And then I see these two files here. They are in sync because I have translated them, and I easily see, oh, the rest is missing. So what I will do now is something else. I change my source. So I go into my repository and reusable content modules. And let's change something here. We appreciate your interest in Adobe. And I save that. And then I go into my Manage folder and apply. It's still in sync, but I save that as a new version now. Click Save. A new version is created. I go into Manage. And then I suddenly see it's out of sync. So this file here is out of sync in my target language because it's outdated, because I have changed the source, and I could just send it for translation and add it to an existing translation project or create a new one and go through that process again. So this makes it very easy to keep overview if your target languages are in sync with your source, if there's missing content, if there's new content, if there's out of sync content, or if the content is, in the best case, in sync already. So that's a very, very easy way of managing your translations, and with this visual interface that it gives you an idea about that content, it becomes really easy. And let me go into the data map here as well. And you have these data map dashboards with all your outputs and topics and condition presets and baselines and reports, all that you usually want to have. And you can also see the translation management from here. And let's assume I select German, and then I see, okay, my user guide is up to date in my target languages, but these files are out of date and I need to update them. Let's say I want to update this one, and I can look into that and I see, that's the language copy wiederverwendbare Inhaltsmodule, which is on version 1.5, but my English content is now version 1.6. So I would need see here as well, okay, I need to resend this reusable content module into the translation process again. So that's pretty much it when it comes to translations. Very quick overview. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at techcom@adobe.com, and thanks for watching.